The Divine Order expansion is getting balanced next week. The devs just posted a message that, in a nutshell, says that they're just ironing out some last bugs and getting some new designs ready for underutilized DO cards. So in this video, I've put together a chart on trying to break down the cards that are going to be buffed, nerfed, and some of the price predictions that we might be able to expect for each of these DO cards. All right, so one key thing that you can pull out of that message from the developers is underutilized DO cards. So underutilized, that means that we know that they're looking at cards that are not being played. So the first step in figuring out which cards are going to be buffed and nerfed and hence going to go up and down in value is to look at which ones are underutilized and overutilized. So what we're doing here, we're going to GU decks. I'm looking at the card rankings, and I'm looking in, my filters are last 30 days, user rank mythic, set divine order, and we're only looking at legendaries for this video. Minimum matches is 0, and then we're going to actually sort by matches from low to high. So we can actually see the lowest played card in mythic in the last 30 days is Thayril's Anvil, which was only in 1,481 matches. Okay, let's look on the other end of the spectrum just to get some relative point of view. So Odie's Valka's Herald, of course you've probably seen this in many games, and yes, it has played 154,000 matches in the last 30 days in Mythic. So we know that they're not looking at Odie Valka's Herald for a buff, right? We just know that 100%. If anything, that might be getting nerfed, okay? But we only care about ones that are going up in value in this video. We can kind of guess. We can do the inverse of which ones are going to go up in value to figure out which ones are possibly going to be nerfed. But for this video, we're going to be looking at potential gainers. Okay, so what we're going to do if we're looking at ones, if you were a developer, and they even said it, underutilized DO cards, okay? So these are the cards in Legendary that are the most underutilized. So we have Thayril's Anvil. We have Avraxis, the Gamekeeper. This one is a special card. I'll talk about more about this in a bit, but I don't know if this one is actually going to be touched, even though it's underutilized, just because it's used in as one of the Blessings cards in the Sanctum, and then it might serve a purpose there. Okay, so I'm actually not going long on Avraxis, even though it is underutilized. Okay, now we have other cards, though, going all the way up to Anagrios, General Orithia, Celia, Triage Necromancer, Gorilla Gardener, Parthene, Proscenium, and Takat the Forgotten. So Takat the Forgotten has 13,000 matches played with it. Okay, the next one up, Cadmos, literally doubles to 26,000 matches. All right, so that's a divergent point where you can really say, okay, the one before that, Parthene Proscenium, that's a hard thing to pronounce, has only a few hundred matches less than Takat. So there's a huge difference between Takat and above and Takat and below. All right, so these are really the ones I'm looking at, everything below Takat here in terms of matches. These are the most underutilized legendary cards in the game. And as you can see, the price reflects that. Okay, so now we know how to find underutilized cards. You can do the same thing if you care about doing it for epics or rares. You can also go check that yourself. I'm only doing legendaries because I care about the biggest dollar gain. But by all means, you can try with the other levels of cards as well. All right, so let's quickly dig into the chart. There's a few key things you need to look at. 1, median price. The median price is the price of the cards that are smack dab in the middle of the pile. In this case, it's Ava the Baroness, Vortimer the Volatile, and that median price is $11.44 in all of the DO cards. The second important thing we need to look at is the divergence from median. So the divergence from median is how far away a card is in value from the median price point. Now, the reason why the median matters is because as the developers buff and nerf cards, they're essentially pulling the weak cards closer to the median and the OP cards closer to the median. For example, if the Gorilla Gardener was brought to the median price point, then it would almost double in value. Whereas Finian, on the other hand, needs to actually 0.17 times in value to get to the median point, or basically 17% value. So in a sense, by the developers balancing the cards and making them better and worse, they are essentially pulling the price of those cards also closer towards the median point. The cards we want to invest in are the cards that are far away from the median in the direction that is going to be profitable when they come back to the median point. aka the cheap cards. Now, we don't just want to take any cheap card. We want to take the cheap cards that we think the developers are going to buff. And because in their statement they said they're going to be buffing the underplayed cards, those are the cards that we want to buy. So as you can see, it just so happens that if we look at this chart again, all the underplayed cards, Theriel's Anvil, Avarax is the Gamekeeper, Anagrios, Daemon Prince, those cards are actually all the ones that are the cheapest price right now and the farthest away from the median point. Okay, so now that we understand how that works, we can look at some of the multiples on what we can expect to see in terms of returns on these cards. So if these cards are brought back to the median point, we can see a 2.28 times multiple on Avraxis, a 1.92 times gain on Gorilla Gardener. So that's almost going to double in value. Theriel's Anvil, 1.83 times. Tacat, 1.59 times. So basically all of the cards that are very underplayed are basically, all the ones that we showed are all at least 1.5 times away from the median point, aka we can expect, well, this isn't a guarantee, but we can speculate that they are going to, on average, 1.5 times in value. Now, some of them might 5x in value, and some of them might not even move or go down even. But if they're all going to go towards the median point, then if you buy the entire market of those underplayed cards, then that gives you basically the range you need to start hitting those averages, or that 1.5 times. So now we're going to go look at my inventory so you can see that I do exactly what this chart is telling me to do and what I've been speculating on. So I have 19 Triage Necromancers, 17 Generithias, 17 Anvils, 15 Celias, 13 Gorilla Gardeners, 10 Parthene Prosceniums, 9 Anagrios Daemon Prince, 6 Tackats. So as you can see, I'm buying all the ones that are underplayed, and I'm buying all of them. So I'm not speculating on one card. I'm just speculating on the fact that they're underplayed. And then also happens to be the cards that have the highest potential for a multiple in order to bring them back to the median point. So I'm expecting a return of 1.5 on the entire collection there of those small cards. And I'm also not holding any of these cards that are diverged too far in the wrong direction. I do have a lot of Monolith of the Storms, but I got those in the pack openings when I was making that pack opening video, and I haven't sold them because the price just tanked. But I'm basically not trying to hold on to any of these cards that are in the red here, diverged in the wrong direction from the median point. So I'm buying the greens, and I'm selling all my reds, and I'm just holding on to everything that's in the middle here. All right, well, with that being said, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoy the tool. I'll leave a link for it in the description, so maybe if I didn't explain it good, then you can just see for yourself. But if you do want to see how profitable packs are, I made a video about that over here. If you want to just buy DO packs instead of buying cards individually. And with that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.